when I was 30 and I'd identified myself my whole career up until that point, and also at high school and before that, even at primary school, as my work was what was important to me. I was one of the nerds and I would just work. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved studying. I loved learning. It became my obsession and my passion. And the more that I did that, the more success that I experienced, the more recognition I experienced. I was in the financial services industry early on in my career for the first 10 years of my career, and I was on a strong trajectory and I was recognized and kept being promoted, and that's what I wanted. And then things started to crumble. Things started to crumble in my life where I was working 12 to 14-hour days or more. I was collecting things like the right kind of marriage and the right kind of home and the right kind of sports car, all of those things that I thought that I was supposed to be doing. And on the inside, I was, just melting down. And at the time so what happened for me is those three things I put up on the board for you were true. So I was chosen as not performing in my role, which was devastating to me. And I was made redundant. And at that point, I went on a whole other journey. And that was around trying to repair my physical health. So I spent many years, trying all sorts of different things. And while I thought I had the answer, with the next piece of diet, next kind of diet, or the next therapy, or I thought that was the answer, and I experienced improvement for a little while. Then after a while, it just went downhill again. And every time I thought I had the answer, I was excited and relieved. And then after a few months, it didn't make any difference. And it was because, Narina, exactly what you just said, I wasn't taking care of my emotional and mental state. And if you've been on the webinars before around the emotional journey webinar, how to embrace our emotions, that one's on the YouTube channel if you'd like to check that out. You'll know that what I know about emotions now is that they're our greatest superpower and so important to our health and well-being. We must listen to our emotions. So, when I was going through my burnout and not understanding, I was self-soothing with alcohol. I was, really isolated. My husband at the time worked permanent night shifts, so there was no one at home when I came home. It was a very isolated, lonely time for me. And, it felt to me like, I was slowly dying inside. And as I started to try and understand what was really going on, my emotions and my mental state became very important. So, yes, I get what you're saying, Narina, and that's what today is about. That all the things I'm sharing with you, especially what they recommend, and the articles that I'll share with you about what they recommend, it's all focused on physical reparation. But if we only focus on that, then we're in trouble. So one thing I know for myself is that while I now still work passionately and, often still sometimes long hours, it's the context within which I work that makes the difference. And I'll share that with you in a moment around the model that I want you to look at. It's the context that's really important about how we do our work. Are we doing it to prove ourselves, to receive affirmation? Are we doing it because we've attached ourselves to our achievement, or are we doing it in joy? So those are things that are really important.